I came as a 7th grader, and I was so nervous, but everyone was smiling and nobody looked like they really didn't want to be here. I had so much fun the first day that I just was like not ready to go to sleep that night because I just wanted to get up and do it all over again.
One thing I like a lot about the school is that there's not a popular clique of people. There's not a group that everybody looks up to and says, gosh, I wish I could be in their group. Everybody's kind of got a group of friends. I don't feel like anybody here is all alone.
Our kids, for the most part, are very authentic and refuse really to live behind facades. The thing I like about them most is that they're refreshingly who they are.
Too often in our culture, teenagers are very passive in school. And it's only outside of school that their excitement and exuberance is allowed to be shown. What we see here is that excitement and exuberance in our classes. They're certainly not passive in any way at all, and we find that exciting to work with.
Oh, all the classes are very interesting. All the teachers are lively. They all have very unique personalities.
They're different in so many ways, but they all have the same attitude, wanting to help everybody.
Well, they're enthusiastic. They're interested in what they're teaching you, and they want you to learn what they're teaching, and it makes you want to learn too.
I try to show them how literature is exciting and lively and part and parcel of the daily life, even though Beowulf may have been written 1,200 years ago. I don't think they can write, I don't think they can enjoy life until they learn to love literature.
I'm excited about the curriculum. All the focus is on skills and a few basic concepts. And so students are not graded at all on the number of facts they memorize, but simply on their ability to write, to read critically, to speak, to listen.
You have to listen or you won't do well in that class. I mean, he speaks to us basically all in Spanish.
En el jardín, ¿qué tenemos? Tenemos un jardinero con barba.
It doesn't matter whether somebody can memorize verb tables and a list of vocabulary, but can they in fact really use the language?
The sciences are really neat because we have outdoor classrooms. We don't spend all the time inside looking at a textbook. We go outside and study what we're talking about.
Well, the outdoor experience here is just absolutely tremendous. And there's, rock climbing just rampant. I mean, we live on a mountain. All the cliffs all over are for rock climbing. There's at least 7 caves within this vicinity that I know of off the top of my head. There's a camping trip probably once every other weekend. I mean, there's a lot of people here who are really interested in the outdoors and rock climbing, and it just really provides a very good environment for that.
You get a chance for some introspection and to get your problems worked out.
And you feel better when you come back because it's beautiful. You just feel like it's your mountain.
There's just a feeling and an air there of being around nature and looking at the birds and whatnot, and just, you can't really explain it.
Although I think some of our students wouldn't see themselves this way, I think that our students, by and large, are a very religious lot in that they are asking a lot of crucial questions and looking hard for the meaning of things.
The fact that the final answers aren't with us leaves a tremendous scope for questioning and for being imaginative and not having to say, yes, I've pinned it all down, because obviously we can't pin it all down. So rather than religion closing the mind, I think in the best sense religion opens the mind.
I myself am not an Episcopalian, and they let you sort of form your own religious ideas from the information they give you, which is nice.
You don't really have to talk about religion to them, and you don't have to watch what you say around them. They understand your lingo and they understand the way you communicate. It's a neat thing that you can have a good friend in those people here. And also the rest of the faculty, all the faculty is like that.
I mean, it's one of the great things about going to school here as the teachers. I think that's one of the things that makes the school really good.
I hope to be a teacher someday, mostly because of what I've seen the teachers here do.
The teachers really care here, which was really different for me. I mean, I've never really had a teacher to come up and really ask me, is something wrong? Can I help you in any way? I mean, I've had about 3 different mothers here, apart from my own, you know, and they just really care.
The one thing that I notice the most about coming here from public school is that I can talk to the teachers. They have like advisors that say, are you getting your work done? Let's talk about your subjects. They have like college counselors.
What we try to do is find the right school for each of our students, and there are right schools out there. There are 3,000 schools out there, and we also try to keep it from being a highly pressured situation. I think most of our students are interested in a liberal arts education, perhaps because of our close association with the University of the South, and many of them have college classes that they're taking now at the University of the South.
I take calculus at the university. It's a really good opportunity. You know, I can test out of it in college.
I also am taking a college class, and I don't find it hard in the least. I mean, it's challenging, but no harder than the classes we're taking here.
It's always sort of embarrassing when the huge St. Andrews Sewanee bus comes to pick you up with all the college students walking around so that everybody knows, you know, that you're the high school student.
There's plenty of things to do if you want to travel off the mountain on weekends and stuff.
Nashville is an hour and a half away, and Chattanooga is an hour away, and there's lots to do in those areas, but there's also lots to do here, and I feel like it's a lot more real social life. It's not based on things that are shallow or superficial. All my friends are based on things we do together, things that we learn together, and discussion, not on going shopping together.
And it's really neat living with people, just because, you know, you're always with them, you're brushing your teeth with them and taking showers in the morning, and there's something really neat about that.
You have a lot of responsibility in the dorm. It's a hard life to have because you gotta wash all your clothes and you've gotta get up in the morning.
The bonds that you make are very strong, and you know, people have tiffs and stuff, but mainly I would say you make a friend, and it's gonna be a friend throughout high school and beyond.
The fact that we do have families living on the campus is a nice thing because you're not with your own family. They teach you during the day, but then they're part of your family in the evening. They help you with problems, and they have their animals that run around, and they have little children that you can play with, and it kind of adds a little homey touch.
Oh, I've been here 35 years, and I love it, or I wouldn't have stayed this long. I like to cook pastry. Chocolate cake and pies, cobblers, and I still make my bread, homemade bread. They love it, eat it all.
I like the fact that they have a salad bar and ice cream.
The thing I like the most is the turkey Wellingtons.
They seem to have a favoritism to chicken and roast beef. I mean, I like it, but they found different ways to cook chicken that I've never even heard of.
They have for the 7th and 8th graders a Big Brother, Big Sister program, so you meet a lot of upper school friends.
They're nice to you. You can be really good friends with upper schoolers.
That really is comforting to come here as a new 7th grader and have friends that are older than you are. You just feel like you're loved at this place.
It's fantastic to have the youngest people here. It's the age of beginnings, and it's like a new day in Eden because you see what they can do and their interests and their enthusiasm.
Joshua bit the Jericho, Jericho, Jericho.
We offer 13 varsity sports here in both boys and girls competition. We take great pride in the fact that we do not use young men and women to build our programs. We use our programs to help young men and women grow.
At the Battle of Jericho, that morning, Joshua bit the Jericho, Jericho, Jericho.
I've always enjoyed the sports. You don't have to be extraordinary in any sport. You're allowed to participate, and you get better.
Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Joshua bit the Jericho, and the walls come tumbling down.
I think that we encourage and foster academic growth, but because we see the importance of a variety of talents, we also encourage all of our students to do things that they've not had an opportunity to do.
The night has music that calls to me across the canyons of an endless sea. I seek the shadows of yesterday.
The theater program does magnificently. I've watched lots of high school productions and been in a fine arts high school, so I've seen different sides. And St. Andrews Sewanee does a brilliant job doing productions and getting the play together. I'd say the art department is wonderful too. I'm taking art this year and I'm producing things that just don't belong to me. They're just too wonderful.
One thing I really value about this place is the art department. I think it's the strongest in the South. Since I've started taking art classes here, it's become the most important thing to me academically or scholastically.
The thing I like the most on campus is the trees, the pine trees that they've planted from like 70, 80 years ago. They've been there all this time and they've watched over all that's happened, and we've kept the tradition alive by planting new ones.
I like the fog. It's nice how it rolls in.
It's mysterious. It adds something to the mountain. The clouds will settle in and you can see for maybe 5 feet and no farther.
I think it was very good that they renamed the dorms after our 3 parent schools. It's an active way to encompass the 3 schools that in some ways no longer exist but are all encompassed in St. Andrews Sewanee.
And it's out of the mission of these parent schools that our purpose today has evolved. That includes clearly being a college preparatory school, but doing that in the context of what the church feels it has to offer young men and women. And thus our concern is for not just the intellectual development of a young person, but their spiritual development, their physical development, their total development.
Some say love is a river.
Graduation is a very sad time for me, even though I know what is happening there is right, that it is now time for certain of our students to move on to what's coming next. I hope that when they go to the world beyond us, that they will simply have learned here to love each other, and after they leave here to pass some of that along to someone else.
I hope that when they hit the inevitable hard places in life, we've given them something of joy here that will support them in those times.
My hopes for them are that they have received gifts of courage and strength, and that they will draw on those for the rest of their lives.